the same hat I had on yesterday. Because it's cold out here. This is a hat that most keeps me warm. It's the best hat I have. One of the best hats I have to keep warm with. There. My battery power won't give out. It is almost 2 o'clock p.m. Almost 2 o'clock. Hopefully I'm in the middle of the shot. This could be our distraction. It's definitely my distraction. I'm kind of in the shade here. But it's the only way I can get a backdrop like this. There's a fallen tree back there. For those of you who want to find out how to get a free tack pen, it's in the description. The link is in the description. And it is the very last link in the description. You click on that link and it takes you to the page where you can get a free tack pen. The shipping and handling is only like $6 to $7. I think it's $6.99 for the shipping and handling, but it's a high quality tack pen. And the more you buy, the less you pay in shipping. So if you want to get one for yourself and for your friend, and for your loved one, you know, you could. The more you buy, the less you pay in shipping. You know, so that's quite a discount. A free pen, free tack pen. Being distracted by my mommy. She is walking the dog. It's all fun and games until she falls over. She should be carrying her cane with her. It's really bad because Shaggy jerks her into directions, and she really needs to have her cane. I don't want to get into that right now. We are having happy time. Can't tell her nothing. Can't tell her anything. Oh well, I'm trying not to get upset. She's not using her cane, and she has the dog, and the dog is strong enough to pull her over. So anyways, okay, time to shift. Time to shift. Well, at least she's leaning on the ramp. She's leaning on the ramp, which will help her keep her balance. It's amazing what I get distracted by. I'm getting distracted by my mother, who is walking the dog out in the yard without a cane. Well, at least she's standing on the ramp. There we go. She's using the rail of the ramp. I'm giving a play-by-play. I'm like Howard Cosell of Senior Citizens. It's good to see she's using the ramp rail. She's using the ramp rail to keep herself from falling. And now she's got in the house. Hopefully the dog won't pull her over while she's in the house. So, I've started early because I can't wait. I can't wait to chat with you all. I did set it for 4 o'clock. I set this stream for 4 o'clock. But I'm using this as a distraction. I'm going through quite a bit lately. because I don't think I should be working out my salvation at age 55. At age 55, I should be looking forward to retirement. I should be looking forward to um, an easier life. But at 55, I am starting from square one. That's why I'm pushing tack pins. They say in sales, sell me this pin. And that's what I'm trying to do. Because all my life, I've worked manual labor. I guess you can call it blue collar work. I've done that all my life. And now I am pioneering into uh, the kind of work where I'm promoting. So I'm just trying to get a brand, a name out there that's related to me, because I'm going to be promoting other websites. That's my new job. My new job is promoting websites, and so far it's off to a pretty rough start, because a lot of the people who are chatting with me on my live streams, they're right where I am. You know, they don't have a lot of money to spare. So I'm trying to reach out to a larger audience, people who have expendable cash or expendable, money that they can do without, but want to improve their lives, or better their lives in some way. And I'm finding it hard, because it's like winking at people in the dark. It's like winking at people in the dark when I say, "Hey, there's my website. Check out my website." And about more than half, they don't bother looking at the website. They don't bother reading the testimonials. They don't bother trying out the product. So that's what I'm trying to do right now, is get people to try out my products. Because right now I'm a salesperson. I can't do the work that I used to do, which is install air conditioners and install dishwashers and fix garbage disposals and get people's ceiling fans installed, and that's what I used to do. And now I can't really do that anymore. I can barely walk a long distance, and so what will help me is to just tell people about websites. That's what I'm doing right now for work, and I'm just encouraging people to try out my products. One being the tack pin. The tack pin is a self-defense. I call it an equalizer. It's an equalizer. If somebody bigger than you, or if you're going against two people, you can take out a couple of people with a tack pin, because I don't think anybody wants to be poked with a tack pin. I don't think anybody wants to, anywhere on the body you hit somebody with a tack pin, it's going to hurt. And it's going to be a big distraction to someone who's trying to grapple you, someone who's trying to kick you. If someone kicks at you, you can hit them in that leg with the tack pin. And if somebody's trying to, the rear chokehold, that sleeper, more commonly known as a sleeper, that rear chokehold is the most commonly used method of attacking people. So people get attacked by a rear chokehold, and a way to get out of a rear chokehold is to stab them with a tack pin. And it's a quick way, because most people, no matter how cold it is, they have one pair of pants on. So they're wearing a pair of pants. They have a thick coat on. So if you stab somebody in the leg with a tack pin, they're going to feel it. They're going to probably let you go. They'll definitely let you go if you stab somebody in the leg with a tack pin. And or or anywhere on their body. Anywhere on their body, as long as you're not hitting a thick coat, as long as you're not hitting, you know, multiple pants or multiple trousers. Because some people put on more than one pair of trousers when it's cold. But normally people just put on one pair of trousers. And so if somebody's attacking you with a rear chokehold, you could begin stabbing at the groin. You could begin stabbing at the legs. And a headlock, even a headlock, you could start hitting them in the ribs, you know, hitting them in the back with, let me see if this is on. This might be on. Gotta make sure, because sometimes people are trying to chat with me and the chat feature isn't working. So yes, back to the tack pen. You could get one free. It is the last link in the description of this video. The last link in the description of this video is the link that will take you to the tack pen. There's so many ways that you can get out of a headlock, out of a rear chokehold, out of a bear hug, just by stabbing them in the legs with the tack pen. Actually, I have one right here. Let me dig it out. A tack pen. I know I put it in here. I know I put in here the tack pen. I did yesterday, I'm sure. Oh, there it is. I have my tack pen. Hi, I'm back. Here is the tack pen. This is an example of the tack pen. The one you get might be a little more snazzier, a little more cooler to look at. This is a basic tactical pen. You can put it in your shirt pocket. You can put it in your pocket. I recommend your pants pocket, your trouser pocket, because if someone has you in a headlock, you'll be able to pull it out of your trouser pocket. Or a lot of times, when you're walking on your way to your car, when you're walking on your way to your house, you can have it in your hand and put your thumb over the bottom. Put your thumb over the top of the pin. Put your thumb like this, and you stab the legs. If someone has you in a headlock, if someone has you in a rear chokehold, if someone has you in a bear hug, if you have it in your hand already, you'll be able to begin stabbing them in the leg with the tack pen. And you'll get one pretty much like this one. And so just imagine you're walking on your way to your car and somebody comes up behind you and does a bear hug. You have the tack pen already in your hand. You can start stabbing them in the leg, and that'll make them release you from the grip or whatever you're in, from the hold that they have you in. Also the headlock. You know, if somebody has you in a headlock. Oh, good, she's got her cane. Good going, Mom.
Yeah.
Good going. Yeah.
I will be back.
All right. She's going to do some shopping with her friend. I think that's nice that they all stick together. Everybody in her age group. So off she goes. It's a balancing act between the cane and her purse. So now she's still going kind of strong. We're 75 this year. She turned 75. And so anyway, this is kind of hurting me because I'm having to start from square one after my heart attack. After I had a heart attack, triple bypass surgery, and it kind of took me down a few pegs physically. So hopefully by the middle or end of the next year, I will be established as a salesman, and I'll be able to get people to try out my products. And because I've been doing this for a while now, and I've been getting little to no results as far as far as people trying out my products. And things like this can really help you, you know, especially when people use rear chokeholds on people, when people get people in headlocks, uh, so they can commit their crimes. I have an angry squirrel. There's an angry squirrel and a train. So we're really going for a personal best here. You hear that squirrel? There's probably a cat. There's probably a cat that has treed that squirrel. And those squirrels they get angrier and angrier, or scared. I'm distracted by my mom. She's in her car. She opened the door again, keeping a watch on her, because I might have to leap up from here and help her. But she doesn't like when I do that. She goes, I can do it. I'm independent. I can, I can help myself. It's like, no, you can't. It's, you have trouble. You have trouble, Mom. So anyway, so that's anyway. I'm trying not to get too brought down. Trying not to get too sad. I'm looking forward to the day when I could just announce a product and people will automatically try out the product. Because most, if not all, of the products I sell have a guarantee. You know, you can, I'm pretty sure this tech pin has if it doesn't have a guarantee, well, I don't know what to do about that because I'm just a promoter. But if I can just get folks to try out my products, which is my new job. My new job right now is to get people to try out new products. Kind of like at Sam's Club when you walk by the lady who's got the little cup full of peanuts or the little cup full of whatever snack she wants you to try. Wow, that is a noisy animal. Sounds like not a squirrel, but like a bird. Sounds like a squirrel and a bird. As soon as a cat loses interest, I can. So I've been 18 minutes into this, and telling people about my tack pen, the tack pen that you can get free. You just pay shipping and handling. It's the very last link in the description, right after my movie playlist. My movie playlist has some good movies in it. There's one called Gingerbread Man. Gary Busey plays the Gingerbread Man, and it's really funny. It's an old, low-budget 80s movie. I guess it's construction day. It's 2 o'clock. I'm doing this for my friends in the UK because it's a 5-hour difference. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 7 o'clock, 1900 in the UK. So there's a chance that people in the UK will start to join the chat. Because yesterday I had somebody from Denmark. I had somebody from Canada. Somebody from Nevada. So yeah, I'm starting to reach out there. I'm starting to get out there as far as notoriety, I guess. Not notoriety, but exposure. People are becoming exposed to my brand of humor and my salesmanship. So I noticed I got like 51 views on my last what was it? My last live stream that I did. I think the better mood I'm in, the more shorts I make, the more I can crack jokes about things. So right now it's kind of like I'll be glad when I'm no longer in life's waiting room. I'll be no longer in. I'm learning now not to question God's wisdom because there's so many smart things that I've noticed about my life, the timing of everything. I wonder why things aren't going the way I hope they would, and then I start to see the reason why things are not going the way I hope they would, because there's such wisdom involved in our lives. The fact that we are where we are at the time we are there, the fact that it makes a world of difference, those little things, those little details in our plans, our life plans. We have little details in our life plans that it's like, wow, I couldn't imagine going through what I'm going through and not being around family. Because for the longest time when I was in California, I was so far away, so far away from family. But then everything was going well. You know, my vision was good. I didn't have they didn't have to crack open my chest. And medications. I'm on medications now that are very expensive. Very expensive. All my medications combined is just like outrageous. And up until now, I've had my insurance covering the cost of my medications. But what's scary is I'm not working right now. So the only way you can get insurance, medical insurance, is if you are making a certain amount of money every year so you can get a tax credit, which I don't understand because I was able to pay my insurance premium, and that insurance runs out pretty soon. So it's just a matter of applying for assistance. I've applied for assistance and waiting for an answer back next month. Next month, I think the 19th of next month, I'll get my answer back to see if I qualify for this assistance. So it's kind of scary that you're dependent upon medications to keep you alive, but you can't afford those medications. So that's what's scaring me right now. Is right now I have some medications on hand, and there's a chance that my insurance will cover the refills. But right now it's like, and walking around, I'm just walking to the mailbox and back, and then feeling lightheaded, you know, after I've just walked to the mailbox. Mailbox is like a quarter of a mile away, or like a block away. I think it's a block away. A block away from my house is the mailbox. And I walk that distance and back, or I just get up and walk around the house, and I start feeling dizzy. I start feeling like I'm going to pass out. And it's like they're telling me my injection fraction is like 30%. It may have gotten a little better. It may have stayed the same. And it's like, so anyway, learning this new type of work, this new line of work where I'm saying, hey, try out these products. Try out these products. And that's how I'm making my money now. But it's like I'm finding it hard. I'm finding it hard to, because people who don't know me, a lot of people don't know me here very well. Because I moved here in 2017, which is about 6 years ago, 5 years ago, and I'm not able to establish relationships with a lot of people because I'm mostly at home with my mother, making sure that she takes her medications, make sure that she gets to her appointments, and on top of that, being barely able to take care of myself, and then having my insurance run out on top of that. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. It's kind of making me making me crazy, and so this is my distraction. This is how. Right now it's 25 minutes in, and I guess this is my therapy. Sitting here and talking to total strangers about things I face. I'm pretty sure people have it a lot worse than I do. There are people who are diagnosed with cancer. There are people who are diagnosed they're diagnosed with Huntington's disease. They're diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. They're diagnosed with blindness. So it's like, but it's just scary when you go. I went through most of my life not needing any health care, and then now it hits me at 55. I was working at a job, and then I was rushed to the. I rushed myself to the emergency room, and then they rushed me out to Kennestone, which is like a half hour away from where I live, to cut my chest open and do some triple bypass surgery. And now I'm dependent upon medications that I can't afford. So I guess it helps me to talk about it. It helps me to to try to sort this shit out. It's such a mind fuck lately. You know, I took care of myself. No smoking, no drinking, no no illicit drugs. Getting out and hiking a lot. Getting out and working. Most of my work was physical labor. Blue collar stuff, techie stuff, changing locks, changing ceiling fans, changing light fixtures, changing refrigerators, swapping out refrigerators, swapping out um, washers and dryers, swapping out um, dishwashers and air conditioners. It's like that was my job until 2017. Yeah. And then having to leave where I lived to come here in 2017, which is a big shock. Having to watch all of your stuff being loaded up into a truck and taken away to God knows where, because I didn't have a home, I didn't have a place to live, so I had to come here to live with my mother. So, and it's like, I think it helps to talk about stuff like this. And there are people, like I say, I pray for those people who have it a lot worse. There are people my age who are living in their their vehicle. They're working. They're working sometimes more than one job. They're working. People my age are working, and they have to pull into a parking space in Walmart. They're in a Walmart parking space to sleep the night so they can go back to work. You know, that's how crazy it's gotten. People older than me, they have retirement, they're on Social Security, you know, and me, I didn't have any of that. Having a heart attack at 55, you're not old enough for Social Security. You're just not old enough for Social Security. So you can't work. You still have your insurance to pay, so you can drive your car to your appointments. And they wonder why, people have mental health issues. People have suicidal thoughts, or thoughts of suicide. When life gets hopeless like that, you know, they, you're like not old enough for Social Security, but you can't work. You're on medications that you need and can't afford them because of health insurance issues. And it's like you're just left to die a slow, painful death. And like in Canada, I hear people about Canada who are choosing death with dignity. I guess death with dignity is is legal in Canada. So people are choosing death with dignity over being homeless. And it's like, I can't say I blame them, you know, over being homeless, choosing between being dead and being homeless, you know, and it's like things get real hard to handle and it's rough. It's rough. And I just feel for those people. People who are my age who have to, because they can't afford their rent. Their rent is so ridiculously high. They have to get into a car, get into their car and go to a parking lot and hopefully sleep there so they can be ready for work tomorrow morning. And it's like just your health. Forget the lottery. Forget everything else. Your health. Once your health goes, then that could wipe out your bank account. If you had a retirement, if you had a nest egg, if you had anything, if you want to keep your house, good luck. If you had retirement, if you had a nest egg, that could all be gone as soon as you get health issues. You're fine until you get health issues, like like you get uh, cancer or you get like an injury. An injury could wipe you out. Like you break your leg. It takes what 6 weeks for a leg to heal. You can't work for 6 weeks. That could wipe out your savings and the medical bills. The medical bills could wipe out your savings. So anyway, now to the bright side. See, that's what you do. You got to get out the dark side. You got to get your dark side. Get the things that are dark in your life out there, and then brush them away. You know, and that's all you can really do. Because if there's things you can do nothing about, worrying about them only makes it worse. So when you get to a point where you're just overwhelmed, you don't know what the hell you're going to do, just start thinking about the chair you're sitting in right now. Start thinking about how warm it is in the room that you're in. Start thinking about um, eating your sandwich. You know, it's just that shift. You know, it's about that train. The train sometimes needs to change tracks. You know, and it's a little effort. A monkey could do it literally. There was a monkey that was changing tracks for I forget which railroad it was. The monkey was changing tracks. So it's just a matter of changing rails so you don't go where you're heading. If you're heading for a crash, if you're heading for a downfall, sometimes it's just little things you do in your life to to shift those rails, you know. And then once you're on a new track, once you're on a different track or a different set of tracks, you can look forward to where you're heading now, you know. Sometimes it is just a little bit of effort and your friends, you know, it helps to talk to your friends, you know. Hopefully somebody, I've got it set up. They could write something in there because I don't know if the feature is working. There's that feature for chatting, the chatting feature. May or not be working today. May or may not be working today. So a lot of it's learning self-hypnosis. You know, sometimes it's just a matter of changing your awareness, what you're aware of. Because like fear, that acronym fear, false evidence appearing real. Sometimes with we get bombarded with reality as we perceive it. So reality as we perceive it and actual reality are sometimes two different things. You know, you have to realize the people who love you, the people who are watching you. I got this message from wherever I get messages from that if you are if you are alone, if you feel invisible, God sees you. If you feel like you're invisible, God sees you. And not only does God see you, God's people see you. Because I definitely see people who are going through a tough time. I definitely see people who think they're invisible. So it's like, not only does God see you, if you think you're invisible, God sees you, and God's people see you. God's people are the ones who look after the weary, who look after the widow, who look after the senior, who look after the disabled, you know, or the people who are low on funds, and sometimes a person is looking right at you who is one of God's people, who is there, who can be there to help you. I know I've been helped out by God's people. Um, my brother, when my car breaks down, he comes out here to get my car running to the point where there are no check engine lights. He's like a wizard at cars. If he doesn't know something about a car, he goes to a tutorial on YouTube or something. Hey, Mon, Dad 2.0. That's right. I'm the new model. I'm one of the updated models. I don't know, Dad 2.0. So I got two people. I was letting my heart bleed for a while before. There's my damn phone again. I'm learning a lot about how to look on the bright side of life, and sometimes it's a real challenge to look on the bright side of life. Like that song goes, always look on the side of life. And it's like the stuff that you get bombarded with people with cancer and people who can't make it to the end of the month. People who have to go sell things uh, because they need food money. And so it's like all you can do is what you can do. And once you've done what you can do, then you have to ease up on yourself. Because sometimes that's the issue. You're doing all you can do. Sometimes all you can do is write a letter. Sometimes all you can do is talk to your attorney. All you can do is apply for assistance. And then you have to leave it at that. Because sometimes we could beat ourselves up. We could wear ourselves out trying to do things. And it becomes overwhelming. And I just keep remembering that acronym, false evidence appearing real. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And sometimes we get false evidence. Sometimes we hear about a dam that broke. We hear about a bridge that washed away. We hear about a building that collapsed. And it's just information, and handle what you can handle. And it's like good news. Focus on good news, whatever good news you can get. It always uplifts me when I hear good news. Even if it's, hey, I almost stepped in that pile of crap, or I almost had that bird poop on me. It's all that almost stuff. I could have got hit. And somebody pulled me out of the way. I've seen that, people standing in the road for some reason, and then a bus is coming, and somebody grabs them and pulls them out of the way of the bus. It's like, sometimes it's literally and proverbially, or literally and figuratively, we get pulled out of the way of an oncoming bus or train. And it's like that, whew, man, I'm so glad. I would have been totally screwed. Or it's like the light at the end of the tunnel. That cloud that has a silver lining. So looks like we got two people popping in and out. So I got to hit the bell now. We're going to the neighborhood of make-believe. I'm glad you all are here to join me. I was promoting the tack pin earlier. It's that description, the link in the description, because it's getting to be Christmas time, and it's like a really inexpensive gift to get somebody. You just pay, what, $6 for the shipping and handling? Then you got yourself a tack pen. Then you can watch tutorials on how to use it. You know, it's pretty easy to use. I call it an equalizer, you know, because if somebody's bigger than you are and you get your tack pen and you start hitting them with it, it it'll it'll discourage your attacker. It's good for getting out of chokeholds and stuff like that. Oh, I got left a like. Yesterday, I think I broke a record. I think I got 7 likes. So now we're having another chat session, I guess. Trying to go from dark to light with a couple of farts along the way. I think if you didn't fart, you'd literally explode. But yet, I think that's all I know in... Привет, меня зовут Ed. I think that's all I know, if I said that right. So, one time 17 likes. Oh, yeah. I think it was yesterday I got 17. It's hard to keep track. Oh, I don't... someone is here from Russia. So, I don't know a lot of Russian. I used to... so I need to maybe... If you can translate, that'd be great, because I don't speak a lot of Russian. Я не понимаю по-русски, маленький по-русски. Yeah. So it's like, that's what they didn't teach me, is Russian, you know, because we have a lot of Russian immigrants here in the U.S. And I had some people I knew in California. They were teaching me a little bit of Russian. So right now it's like, English is my basic language, or, yeah. I missed that other, yeah. So I got 1 like and 2 people. I guess it's dark over there now. Here it's bright, it's sunshiny. Krasiva. Krasiva день. День. Krasiva день. Добрый день. Yeah. It's not utra, it's dien. Yeah. So we got, somebody dropped off. So I hope that we still have somebody. I know that you're Arthur's friend. And then sometimes Arthur joins in too. I sometimes get both of you guys at the same time. And then there's X-Trigger. 1 person now, that's right. Somebody found out that I don't speak that much Russian. But, oh, he's still here. So, yeah. What do we do? What do we do if somebody speaks another language? I guess you can translate. If you put something in the description, then you could hit translate, and it'll tell you what they're saying. I know that's in Russian. I'm pretty sure that's Russian. Yeah, that's what. So we have somebody joining us from Russia, but I don't speak a lot. I don't speak that much Russian. So, in reading it, I don't know any reading. I don't know how to read Russian. So that's one of the language barriers, you know. Sometimes you want to make friends, but it's like you got to be taught their language. That's why I like Google Translate. You know, you can say something. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. I got some backup. Хорошо. Скажи маленький русский. Да. So it's like, that's where I'm stuck. I got to learn more. And nobody here in Georgia speaks any Russian either. It'd be cool if I could have a translator, have somebody sit next to me who speaks in Russian. That way we could break the speech barrier, the language barrier. So it's cold. how do you say cold? Niet garechi. Niet garechi. Garechi. Da. It's so I got this hat by Nahaben. Ich habe eine haben. So our friend is going to get. Oh, okay, okay. Well, cool. So my friend here is able to talk to you. Yeah. So we've broken the the language barrier. That's ingenious. Wow. Together we can overcome any obstacle. We put the tickle in obstacle. We got. I could play. Oh, you think he left? Okay. Well, now that if he comes back, we'll be able to talk to him. Oh, what are you filming? Oh, you know what? I think he put Alex T. Okay. It's a live stream. So yeah, I think he's stuck with it. I think he translates now. He's translating what he's saying. This is just a live stream where people get together and chill. We talk about things, play a little music. Feels like today's going to be a quality day. It's now Thursday the 14th of December. We're going to get more quality today. Oh, so it's okay. That's weird seeing another language. I know a bit of a little bit of German. Garman. Ich verstehe nur ein bisschen Deutsch. Entschuldigen Sie, verstehen Sie Deutsch? Ja, ich verstehe nur ein bisschen Deutsch. Wie geht es Ihnen? Danke, gut. Und Ihnen? Ein cooles Live. Ja. How do you say it? Dankeschön. Dankeschön. Ja. Willkommen. So now we can chat. We got 2 people. 3 is company. I know that Hast means have. I know. I need to learn a lot more of these languages. I just know little bits of certain languages. Merci. Comment allez-vous? Je m'appelle Ed. I really need to study more languages. I heard about Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone seems to be a good way of learning languages. I said I was taking a course. It was a CD course. It was on CD. I was learning how to speak some German, but then I got caught up in a whole bunch of other stuff, and that would be nice if I took a traditional course. That way I could speak conversational German, conversational Russian. Because, yeah, I only had time to learn little bits and pieces. I grew up speaking English, so English was just something that came natural. And now it's like I get stumped when somebody comes and speaks another language. Because I can kind of understand Spanish, but it seems like English is just my native language. Well, it is. Because here in America for a while, it was so weird to hear another language. It was so unusual hearing a language that was outside of English. Now it's like a common thing. You could hear people talking. You know, if you take a bus ride or if you take a train ride, you can hear people. Or even at the airport, you'll hear a lot of different languages at the airport. I keep playing it upside down. I catch myself doing that. So are things better today than they were yesterday? That's what I always like to ask. Are things better today than they were yesterday? Every day above ground is a good day. Has anyone filled the candy rush yet? All the candy that's being eaten from Halloween and Christmas? Christos Vasquez. That's what I remember hearing. It was Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. Meli Kalikimaka. That's what I do when I get nervous. I start playing harmonica. Cool. So you like buffalo meat? That used to be the staple food of the Native Americans. Was it the Navajo or the Lakota? They had so much buffalo. They knew how to work with nature. They didn't kill off all the buffalo. They just kept enough alive. I think they were the first ranchers. Buffalo meat. They say a buffalo could win against a grizzly bear. They were going over a list of animals that could win a fight with a grizzly bear. One of them was the hippopotamus. Hippopotamus is a they run fast for their size, and a lot of times they attack people in the water. They're very territorial. And then a moose. I'm pretty sure. I think they said a moose was something that could rival a grizzly bear. Moose are very big. They're a lot bigger than you think they are. They say don't feed a moose because if they see a person and they don't have food, they'll get mad. Kind of like chimpanzees. If you bring something to a chimpanzee, you have to bring it to all of them because they will get mad. One guy made that mistake. He wanted to give a chimpanzee a birthday cake, and because all the other chimpanzees didn't get a birthday cake, they tore him up. So yeah, that's a word of caution. I just want to steer clear of chimpanzees. They have like, oh, you want Arthur to, you don't want Arthur to get to it before you do? Arthur, I'm pretty sure will save you. Yeah, I know. Some people, they live through that attack. I think there was a woman, the chimpanzees just ate her face off. That's horrifying. You know, it's like, I wouldn't want to live without a face. But then again, you don't sometimes have that alternative. The doctors are all about keeping you alive until they can't keep you alive anymore. Ah, Long Beach, California. I'm getting all these calls now. I don't even live in California anymore. I seem to be on their list. They need to take me off their list. It's nearly 3 o'clock. I think my battery pack is still working. Yeah, I have 3 dots left. So I guess you're the... Hi! Great, we got some more people. Join in, will you? So the tack pin is in the description if you're here to find out about the tack pin. The tactical pin. The pin is free, you just have to pay for the shipping. Oh. No, there's somebody else here. I'm seeing 2, I'm not seeing 1. Sometimes it shows 1 even though there's 2. So I always try to find out if somebody is actually watching. So we have a group of people now. A group of 3. Okay. You're a new one. I haven't seen you. So yeah, we're getting some new people today. It is Thursday the 14th of December. And it's about 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock here, Eastern Standard Time. We just get together and say Gerflungus. Gerflungus. Somebody taught me that word. There's 2 viewers that started saying Gerflungus, so I thought I'd join in. Just for the heck of it. We're just here for fun and games and Q&A. Talking about things. Talking about chimpanzee attacks. Talking about hippopotamuses. They say a lot of people die of coconuts too. A lot of people are hit in the head with coconuts. I've seen a coconut tree and they're pretty tall. And when the coconuts, they dry up, they fall on their own. So yeah, you could be walking along and all of a sudden you get hit in the head with a coconut. Coconuts have some weight to them. They turn brown after a while. I remember seeing a lot of those in Hawaii, coconut trees. Coconut? You can actually drink the juice out of them. Drink the juice from the coconut. You put the lime in the coconut. You put them both together to relieve a bellyache. put the lime in the coconut. You put the lime in the coconut. And you drink them all up to relieve a bellyache. Doctor. I think that song came out in the early 70s. The show Practical Magic, Sandra Bullock, and God, who was that other woman? She was from Australia. She was married to Tom Cruise for a while. I can't remember her name for some reason. I got her picture in my head. That's right, it's daytime. In the U.S., it is daytime. It is almost 3 o'clock, almost 1500. In the UK, they use military time. I found that out recently. They don't say 3 o'clock, they say 1500. So it's it's dark where you are? Is it dark outside where you are? What? Coco is here. I said, is it dark out there, or is it dark where you are? Because it said it's daytime here, yeah, in the U.S. I'm in Georgia, one of the many states of the United States. I think they stopped at 50. I know Alaska it's dark outside. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Wow. So you're a few hours ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're 6 hours ahead. It's 9 o'clock. Outside and you see the Christmas lights. Santa Claus isn't due yet. We got to wait until the 24th. In Denmark, they celebrate Halloween. No, they celebrate Christmas on the 24th. Oh, yeah? I think they call Alaska the new frontier. The new frontier, or the last frontier. Because after Alaska, you just go off into the ocean. Alaska's right up there in the same latitude as Canada. Yeah, there's Alaska. Alaska was bought from the Russians. I think Alaska was Russian territory at one time. Oh, I was hoping I'd hear from you. Yeah, welcome back. Great to see you again. Yeah, it has been a while since you've joined. It's always nice to see people I haven't seen in a while. So here we are. Smiley face. Welcome. So is it dark where you are? 2 people have told me it's dark where they are. 2 people have said. Oh, your phone wasn't working. Okay. It's amazing how dependent we are upon our phones. Guard your phones. It's dark there. Wow. So we're behind. We're like, here it's like 3 o'clock. Almost 3 o'clock. So it's so cool. Everyone's done with their homework. Everyone's done with their regular work. You're using your PC? Cool. Those have a lot more battery life, the PCs. Your personal computer. I remember I had a whole desk dedicated to my PC. I had my speakers, I had my monitor, I had my keyboard, and my tower. My tower was on the ground somewhere. I think it was sitting on the ground, yeah. I was trying to do some movie editing with my PC. That's how I did some of my my cartooning. When I did some cartoons, I had a laptop I was doing that with. Because you have to capture the film and then you have to put it, or the recording, and then put it on the laptop and then edit it. Oh, wow. And then that's a lot. That's a lot of money sometimes. Especially the newer PCs. I bet you a lot of people couldn't operate a modern PC. I remember I got mine in the 2000s, like before 2007. I think it was around 2007 I got my last PC. Now it's like I use my phone for everything. I use the camera. I use the browsers. I think I have at least two to three browsers. And then I store everything in it. Wow. And then you see people, they put their phone in their pocket and then they bend over the toilet and it falls out into the toilet. Sometimes it goes down the storm drain. I saw a whole family of ducks get rescued from a storm drain. Sometimes, you ever see those videos of animals that come to people for help? I think it was an elk. There was an elk that came up. You have a joke? Okay, share it with us. Let's see I think everybody can see the joke. That's always nice. It's kind of bad. Oh, I took off that feature. Now I don't have to check. I guess we're all adults here, I'm pretty sure. There's no kitties around. The kitties might laugh at it too, who knows? I used to always laugh at dirty jokes when I was a kid. So we have 3 viewers, 2 likes. Would you like some fries with that? It must be a real good joke. I always like sharing jokes. What do you call... Oh, black people. I don't know. That sounds like a risky joke. A Twix? Oh boy. We can't tell those kind of jokes. We'll wind up like Michael Richards. Michael Richards caught a lot of flack. He had a meltdown on stage. That was a long time ago, though. We got to be careful with those kind of jokes. Because I'm pretty sure we're a mixed company here. I do get the joke. But it's like, we got to be... That's all right. You shared your truth. It's a good thing that these... what are they called? The chats, they disappear. I don't know where they go, but they disappear. If you really want to get in trouble, leave what do they call those? The not the text, not the description, the comments. Yeah. Leave it in the comments, but then you might get in trouble. In today's climate, you can't tell hardly any jokes. That's what comedians do. They tell jokes. And if you don't like that comedian, look for another comedian. I always used to say, research your comedian. Don't just go to a comedy show. Go watch some of their material first and see if you'll be offended or not. Sample some of their bits, Don't just go see a comedian because that comedian might not be what you expected, They might shock you. They might horrify you. But they might make you laugh too. The quote of the day. I don't know. I know yesterday's was by... You love jokes. Okay. We'll have to tell some ones that won't get me canceled. I don't want to get canceled. So what was the other question? The other question was... oh my God, I forgot what the other question was. I'm trying to read all different... maybe it'll pop up again. Let me see. What was that question? So... Oh, the quote of the day. What quote? When you wrestle with pigs, you both get dirty, and the pig likes it. I think that'll be the quote of the day. Mark Twain said that. If you wrestle with pigs, you both get dirty and the pig likes it. That's a good challenge. I should come up with quotes every day. What's the quote of the day? If the cucumber is bitter, don't eat it. There's a couple of other quotes. I might be a worm, but I'm a glowworm. Yeah? You like that one, huh? You like those Mark Twain? Mark Twain had a lot of good quotes. What did Winston Churchill, he said, a pacifist is one who feeds an alligator hoping it will eat him last. I think Winston Churchill said that. A pacifist is somebody who feeds an alligator hoping it will eat him last. That one is really true. Don't be too much of a pacifist. I think one of them is Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman, he's the guy who played Wolverine in the X-Men series. Another one is Robert Downey Jr. He played Iron Man. I think he still plays Iron Man. What's another good actor? The one, Bruce Campbell. I think it's Campbell or Bruce Campbell. He was in like Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead 1, Army of Darkness. It's the ones that do comedy. Most of the ones that I like are the comedy. Oh, it's a self-defense pin. It's a really hard metal pin, and you use it for self-defense. Like when people try to choke you or try to grab you, you can, or even if they attack you anyway, you can stab them with this pin. And once you get it, it's a hard aircraft aluminum. It's a very durable pin, and you use it for self-defense. What was the other question? Let me see. Christopher Lee, yes. We were talking about Christopher Lee. Somebody was saying I reminded them of Lee. That was before I got a haircut. I think before I got my haircut, I looked like Christopher Lee. Oh, well. Oh, well, what? Oh, nice. I saw that video. Yeah. And how you get it is in the description, there will be a link. It'll tell you which link it is, and you can get it. You just pay the shipping and handling. And that's what makes it easy. You're not paying for the pin itself. You're just paying for the shipping and handling. And I notice when you buy more pins, you pay less in shipping. So like if you want to buy one for your friend, if you want to buy one, for someone you know, it's really nice because if you're walking to your car and you have this in your hand, you're going to look, okay, well, thank you. Thank you for that. Because earlier I was getting kind of bummed out. I was talking about stuff that was bumming me out. But now I'm cheered up. My other personality is kicking in. So now we're back on track. We're ringing the bell of happiness. No, I haven't. There was one short they were talking about a head in a toilet. I still want to see that. They were telling me about a short about a head in a toilet. I saw. Oh, cool. Well, thank you. They have declared war on. Oh, wow. Seems like nowadays it's all about war. There's so many wars going on. Israel and Hamas. And I just heard about another one yesterday. Yeah. Algeria. Algeria, that's a continent or a country in Africa. I'm pretty sure. I think Mumbai is in India. I'm trying to keep track of all these countries. There's so many countries that are going to war now. It's almost like they needed time to reload. That's what I say during peacetime. Oh, thank you for joining us. I'm glad to see you again. Oh, yeah, okay. Skibidi toilet. Put that in the link. If you can give me the link in the description, give it to me. That way I can check it out. Well, oh, it's a name? Okay. So it's Skididi Toilet, Skibidi, if I'm saying it right. Yeah, I'll leave the link in the description. I'd be curious to see what that looks like. They say it's disturbing. I don't always do well with disturbing, but as long as it's a little bit funny. Oh, it's pretty dumb. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll be looking for you. Good to see you again. I hope it gets a little nicer over there. It's obviously dark. It's probably cold. At night it gets pretty cold around here, especially if the wind picks up. Oh, okay. It's pretty stupid then. I don't know, there's stuff you can't unsee. There's just stuff you can't unsee. But then it might make you laugh and puke at the same time. I think I'm going to have a kitty cat visiting me pretty soon. It's pretty quiet now. I like that. It's now 3 o'clock. I'll see how long I can go with this battery. I still have enough power on this battery. We could probably go for a marathon. It's like an hour and 16 minutes so far. We got 3 people, possibly 4. Who knows? Maybe this tack pin thing will take off. I'll be the guy who sells tack pins. He sells tack pins and he plays flute. Oh my God! Was he eating and having to go to the bathroom and wow, for a whole month? That sounds like a telethon. Jerry Lewis used to do telethons for muscular dystrophy. Every year he would do a telethon. I remember that. When I was a little boy, he'd have all these different actors and actresses come on to raise money for muscular dystrophy. I don't think anybody does telethons anymore. I think it's Christmas time. I'll put on my Santa Claus hat. For those who need Christmas cheer. Heidi ho! Would you live? Oh wait, gotta see that again. Come on. Would you live stream yourself for 1 year for $1 million? I don't know. That would be a good payoff. That would be a pretty good payoff. But then I would just have to put the camera to where they can see me sleeping or eating. I would have to stream while I'm eating or stream while I'm in the bathroom. That would be pretty disturbing. You don't celebrate Christmas. So, I don't know what to do now. Should I put on my other hat now? I don't want to upset anybody, but sometimes, oh, we're down to 1 person. So is it the country you're in? Some countries, I don't think. Oh, it does give you good mood? Okay. No. Okay. It's fine. All right. So I have been okayed to wear my Santa Claus hat. If it cheers people up, why not? I've got my white gloves. Howdy ho! Howdy ho! Oh, your religion. Okay. I've encountered people who, because of their religion, they don't celebrate Christmas. They don't celebrate birthdays either. So that's why we have to be careful. You know, or find a stream that most suits you. That'd be cool if people of that religion would have their own stream. That way they could better relate. You know, it'd be a big relatability thing. So I guess people are fleeing now. We have one person, 3 likes, and it's 3 o'clock. Good luck with that buffalo meat. I hope you get equal shares of the buffalo meat. That's always polite to set aside some buffalo meat for your friends. So I guess we can sit quietly now. I don't know. I feel like flute music. I need that flute sound. There we go. These are keeping my hands warm. I almost don't want to take them off. I like my little white glove. Because people, I guess it's just people like to chat, you know. If they see somebody on making videos, sometimes they want to have a chat with them. And I think it breaks the ice, you know. I get to know people, you know, how they feel about things. That way I know what to joke about. It makes it easy. Sometimes it's just good fun to sit here. This is my therapy. Just have a stream going for $1 million. If I can stay out of the dark. Seems like it's getting darker right now. We're getting. It saves me from the world. That's right. When I pass the breakers. No, that song, I wish the real world would just stop hassling me. That's what it is. It stops the real world from hassling me. There's a girl watching me. A woman from across the street is watching me play flute. I am casting a spell. I'm like the Pied Piper. I guess you are my only viewer now. Everyone else has fled. I'm watching a guy chase some cats. They're trying to get the cats out of his yard, it looks like. There's a bunch of feral cats around here. I'm here. Oh, okay, so I got 2 people. All right. 2 people. 2 people, not 1 people. That's kind of funny. There's a across the street chasing cats. He's getting annoyed at the cats. Can you hear him yelling? Rah, rah. So where do you get buffalo meat? That's that doesn't sound like something that happens here in the U.S. There's usually like deer. Deer is the most common. Deer meat and nutria. Nutria is an animal that I guess was introduced to our ecosystem. People hunt for nutria. They're like these huge. They're they look like a cross between a rat and a squirrel. And this guy, Mousetrap Monday, I watch his shows or his videos. He builds all these kind of mouse traps. Some are from long ago, like 1800s, hundreds of years ago. People would make mouse traps, and he would test them out. And he was showing how you catch and prepare nutria. He's into that like bushcraft. I always like watching outdoor survivalists and bushcrafters. Survival Lily was one that I watched a lot. I think she's still doing it. She's really good with the bow and arrow. I watched her at some kind of a target practice area, and she's a really good archer. I think I'm a cat person. There's a cat that comes around here. I call her Francesca. She's a black cat with gold eyes, and sometimes she'll come up here and let me pet her. She did yesterday. She's a real sweet cat. I get along with dogs too, as long as they're not real heavy. My brother has a real heavy dog named Sadie, and she thinks she's a lap dog. She's a real big dog with real sharp claws. No, I haven't seen. Oh, yes, there are. I have. I've seen them as roadkill. I've seen some raccoons, mostly armadillos. I see a lot of in the summertime. I'll see lots of armadillos as roadkill because I guess they're all nocturnal creatures, and I never see them during the day. But then in the summertime, you'll see like a lot of armadillos, and occasionally I'll see a raccoon. I saw one raccoon in California. It was expired. I think I said the only time I see raccoons is when they're dead. Poor dead raccoon. There's lots of squirrels around here though, especially if you have a bird feeder. Squirrels are very smart. They're trying so hard to make it to where squirrels can't get to the bird feeders, but they always seem to know a way of defeating the bird feeders. Or like they'll put these cones. Sometimes the cones stop them because the cone will stop them from climbing up to get to the bird feeder. I saw one squirrel sitting on top of the cone. I guess the squirrel jumped up and landed on the cone and was sitting on top of the cone eating from the bird feeder, which was kind of funny. So yeah. So yes, I think I'm a cat person, but I don't hate dogs. As long as they're not too big, the big dogs, I think they're lap dogs. Those are the ones that kind of annoy me, especially in the summertime. Oh yeah, some people are. All they have to have is one bad experience. I remember one time being chased by a dog. It was to me it was huge because I was a kid. I had a ball and the ball went into somebody's yard, and I went into the yard to get the ball, and the dog came after me and chased me. I guess the dog just wanted to play around, but it scared the crap out of me. Yeah. Some people is that way with snakes. You know, one guy there was a snake. I know. It's crazy because they're growling sometimes. They're growling and showing their teeth. It's like some kind of a real mean creature coming at you. Like when it happened, I was a kid, you know, it was like, so this dog probably looked a lot bigger than it really was. And it was just, it didn't seem to be growling though. It was just kind of chasing after me. Probably because I was running, that's why it was chasing me. Some people are there spiders. They get scared of spiders. There was talk about gender equality until there's a spider. Bo Burnham made that song. Yeah, you can tell that. You know, if a dog lays on its back, it's uh, it's showing that it's the less dominant dog. Yeah, they'll fight each other just to assert dominance. Oh yeah, it's like they have a pack mentality. Dogs travel in groups, and so they have to find out who the leader is going to be. And once they determine the leader, you know, the leader is only a leader for a while though, because sometimes they want to challenge the leader, and if they win, they become the leader. Yeah, it's like you got the main wolf, and then you got all the underlings. Sometimes cats are. Yeah, I've seen that from time to time. Francesca gets that way. My little black cat. She'll see another cat in the yard and she'll just chase after him. It's almost like this is her territory. I think that's why she's tolerating me being in her territory. When I sit out here in the yard, I notice she'll come around and she'll just check things out. I think what she's allowing me to be here. I have her permission to chill out in my yard. I know cats are cruel. They're very aggressive. They'll stand off too. You'll see the two cats. They'll just sit there and go "Row, row," before they finally tear into each other. The other one seems like it wants to walk away, but the other cat is just so pissed off, so mad. And it's like cats will tear into each other. There's fur flying, and there's like really their claws are just so vicious. Claws and teeth. Most of the time they just use their claws. They'll grab on with their front claws and they'll scratch with their back claws. But they won't use their Santa Claus. They'll yeah, I still watch them from time to time. There's YouTube videos of just cats fighting. They are, yeah. Especially if you have tuna fish. If you have tuna fish, you'll get a cat will be your friend. Tuna fish are any kind of treat. They always want to know what you've got. Dogs do that too. I know my mom's dog, if I'm eating something at the table, he'll stand there and watch me to wonder, why haven't you had me anything? Why don't you give me something? Yeah, but those kitty cats, they'll lay on your stuff. I know, kitty cats are very clingy. I think that's what it is. They're trying to establish a closeness. They like to be intimate, especially when they sit on your lap. There was a cat that used to always sit on my lap. Make the roar sound again? You mean like the roar, roar, roar. I'd have to listen to a kitty cat. Oh yeah? If he hears that, because he knows there's a challenger. That's right, a challenger. I scared a cat with my flute music one time. Is that what your cat's doing right now? That's what I used to hear outside my window. Oh yeah? Kitty, 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 kitty. So we got 3 people today. Possibly 4. Possibly. Yeah, cats are so much fun. All right. Well, you have a good time. Have a good time doing what you do. That's what juggalos do. They do what they do. I guess you're a juggalo if you do what you do. I think I consider myself a juggalo. I like to listen to Insane Clown Posse, Shaggy Two Dope, and Violent J. I remember a girl turned me on to the Insane Clown Posse. She was saying that I should listen to it, and it just took that one album. There was, oh wow, birds are so defenseless when it comes to cats. Cats are pretty persistent when it comes to hunting birds. They can get down and do it like a crouch, and then they sneak up. They look like panthers getting ready to pounce on a gazelle or an impala. I think there's a car named after a car named the Impala, the Chevy Impala. But there's an actual creature called an Impala, and tigers are pretty badass. I don't know why tigers aren't considered the king of the beasts, especially the Siberian tigers. Oh yeah, was the parrot able to defend itself? The parrot, it's a parrot. Oh yeah, or three. Parrots have pretty strong beaks. They were able to they crush their seeds. I think parrots eat mostly seeds. They thought chimpanzees were vegetarian, but they're omnivores. I guess they are omnivores because they got those real sharp teeth. If they'll eat your face, they're probably omnivores. Chimpanzees look scary, especially the adult chimpanzees. A pet monkey. Monkeys are kind of clever. Monkeys will steal your cell phone. They'll grab your hat and run away with it. I forget which. There's some countries where monkeys just run wild. Indonesia, I think, or one of those places. Baboons have huge teeth. Baboons. They have very colorful faces too. Oh yeah, that's their grooming. I've seen that. They'll sit in front. They'll sit behind a fellow baboon or chimpanzees, and they'll pick through their hair. They'll eat the bugs. Lice is no joke. Lice could be carried on to other people. If lice is bad enough, it can really be harmful. Schools used to do that. They would line people up. They'd line the kids up and check them for lice. If they had lice, they'd have to shampoo. They'd get sent home to shampoo. The shampoo comes with this fine comb. I guess you kill the lice and then you have to scoop it out with the comb. I'm not too knowledgeable about lice, but I know in like grade school they would check you for lice. I guess they look for the eggs. Fleas are the same way. You know, if you look at your dog and you peel the hairs back and you can see the fleas in there. I had to give my dog a bath a couple of days ago because I moved his hair around and there was a couple of fleas in there. Fleas are hard to get rid of too because you're dealing with the fleas and the eggs. The eggs kind of lay dormant until they finally hatch. And then they're all over the place. Fleas and roaches. Roaches are hard to get rid of. It's because they eat each other. Roaches are cannibalistic. So even if you take away their food, they can dine on each other. All it takes is one female roach, and then you've got a lot of roaches. You almost have to go through all of your shelves with a vacuum cleaner. Roaches, and there's so many different varieties of roaches. Then mice. Mice are another thing. Some people leave potatoes and bread out on the countertop, and that attracts the mice. Oh yes, pests. Wow, what is it? An hour and 40 minutes. I think the cheer has changed. The cheer has gotten better. When I started this stream, I was kind of bummed out. I was getting so upset about things. Now this is kind of like it helps me get more cheered up. I can think about good things. Wear my Santa Claus hat, just like Mr. Hanky. Mr. Hanky. I think it was just, I had no viewers for a while. I remember it was a zero for about 20 minutes. And then after the 20 minutes, I got one viewer, the guy who just left. And then I got some people who I haven't seen in a while. That's probably why I cheered up a little bit. I saw the people who I haven't seen in a while. It doesn't take much to cheer me up. And then I can cheer you all up. Ah, another call from California. People say they like my ringtone, so I guess I'll keep that. I won't change my ringtone, even though I get briefly interrupted. So I get to sit outside. I like that part. Sit outside in a chair, sit still for a while. Look at that nice backdrop, the very nature backdrop. I get this make kitty cats scared. So I scared two cats. The one that was just here, and then when I was playing my flute, I caused the cat to jump. A long time ago, I remember that. Somebody said, you played your flute and it scared the cat. So I think there's about two people right now. We got one person, or I see one up there. It's worth it, because people watch this after it's completed, after the recording's been done. People watch it afterward, and I got 3 likes out of the deal. A 1, a 2, a 3. That was a Tootsie Roll Pop commercial, or Tootsie Roll Pops. How many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Roll Pop? Oh, on my community page, there's some Ronald McDonald commercials. Yeah, it says 4. Wow. I'm only seeing 3. I guess there are silent majority. We got people who are silently watching. Seems like, yeah, you're the only one that's actually chatting, which is okay, I guess. I've noticed there's a lot of discrepancies depending on what I watch. If I look at how many views my video has received, sometimes there's a difference. Have I tried a Taco Choco? I think I have. Wasn't Taco Bell using those? Or the Choco Taco? Somebody gave me one. It's like a chocolate-filled taco. I remember one that was really good. Some girl from Taco Bell, one of the employees handed me a taco, and it was a dessert taco. I don't know if they still sell them. I know the McRib. The McRib sometimes, it comes and goes. Everyone gets excited when the McRib is about to be sold again. I know, it's kind of It's like they tease us. They tease us with. I remember a long time ago, Taco Bell had the Bell Beefer. It was a taco hamburger. They called it the Bell Beefer, and it was really good. That was back in the '70s. It was just a hamburger with taco mix in it. That was one of my favorites. Now it's the soft taco. I like the soft taco because the hard tacos they break apart. You know, they always snap in half. So you're fighting to hold the taco together. They snap in half. But the soft taco, it has some flexibility. And then burritos. The burritos were the beef burritos I liked. I know. It's like, wow, I'm trying to eat a taco here. And all I get is like, I take a bite and then it snaps. And then I'm holding it like a sandwich. Carl's Jr. Here they call it Hardee's. But there was a Carl's Jr. and they had the whiskey burger. And then there was, it was called the whiskey burger. It was really good. It had like a whiskey sauce. They would only do it for a while though. The really good stuff. I remember you. You are from Denmark, correct? I remember you. There are two people from Denmark that check in. Remember me? Yes. Because the guy reminds me, he goes, remember me? I'm from Denmark. I think just recently I had somebody from Ireland. I think I got one guy from Canada. They all seem to pop in and say hello. It's good to see return customers, people who come back after a while. Just to drop by and say hi. I know it's Christmas and all. I'm wearing this hat because it's a little more cheerful. I have my black hat that I wear. Makes me look like a longshoreman. And then I just sit and talk until I lose my voice. Sometimes that happens. I start to lose my voice starts to go. So I have to resort to playing some flute or jaw harp. So it's like a carousel of instruments. I'm sitting here it's broad daylight here. Yeah. COVID, it's like, I don't know why they're making us wear those masks. I wore those masks and I still got COVID. They call it natural immunity. You get COVID and then after you've had it for a while, if it doesn't kill you, then you become immune to it. They say that's how the Black Plague stopped. The Black Plague stopped because people became immune to it. It was genetics. They didn't come up with like with polio. Polio, they had a vaccine, and the polio vaccine helped. Polio was no joke. It would cripple people. And then they put the vaccine on a sugar cube, and that stopped polio. You don't even hear about polio anymore. I remember back in the 70s and 60s, they were talking about polio, but I didn't see a lot of polio victims. And it's like, and then there was cholera. Cholera was another one that was really bad. Cholera gave the appearance that you were dead, so people would bury people, and it would turn out that they weren't dead. They just looked like they were dead. And then they would tie a bell to your toe. And that way, if you were underground and you started to come to, you would ring the bell and they would dig you back up again. That's pretty scary. Cholera and what else? There was the leprosy. They're saying leprosy is coming back, I guess. Tuberculosis, man. And on top of it, we've got COVID-19. They used to call it the coronavirus. Corona. And then I think it cut in on that beverage. You know, people didn't want to buy the beverage because it was called Corona. Twilight Zone. I have to stare off in space when I'm playing. I'm running out of breath. Oh well, I'll put it down. It sounds annoying if I don't play it right. So there aren't any trains going by. I'm glad about that. No trains, no angry squirrels. Just sitting here quietly, observing people across the street. So I guess it's dark where you are. A lot of places it's dark already. It's almost 4 o'clock here. So any topics today? We were talking about wild animals earlier. The difference between cats and dogs. And then we were talking about Taco Bell. We were talking about that Choco Taco. Churros. They have something like churros. It's called the Cinnamon Crispas. I've had those. I used to work at Taco Bell, and they start out, they look like macaroni, little pieces of macaroni, and then they throw them in the deep fryer, and then they puff up, you know, and then you have to put cinnamon on them. Those sell pretty well too, I think. They call the Cinnamon Crispas. They used to take tortillas and cut them into sections, and then fry the tortillas, and then they put cinnamon on them. And then they stopped doing that. I remember doing that when I worked at Taco Bell. You'd take a tortilla and you cut it into like a pie, into different sections, and then you throw them in. Formula One, is that like a? I don't think we have it here. Formula One, is that kind of like a Doctor Who, or is it NASCAR? Because here they have NASCAR. There's like a lot of race car drivers. I don't think NASCAR is popular anymore. I think when I first got here into Georgia, they had NASCAR. Formula One, that sounds like the Autobahn, you know. Sounds like I don't know, is it a cartoon? There was Speed Racer. Speed Racer was a cartoon. They tried to make a movie out of it. I think Christina Ricci was in it. We're getting into movies now. And then there was Battlestar Galactica. Formula One is a motorsport. Okay. I probably don't get that here. Because here it's like a lot of Netflix. Stranger Things. I think Stranger Things is a show that we watch. Before it was The Walking Dead. I remember The Walking Dead had a long run. I have. We used to collect those. They were sold like baseball cards. In the Garbage Pail Kids, they were. You got a piece of chewing gum, and then you got a few cards, and you tried to collect all the different Garbage Pail Kids. It was kind of a spoof on Cabbage Patch Kids. Cabbage Patch Kids were really popular. And then they started making Garbage Pail Kids. And then they made a movie about Garbage Pail Kids. And they said it was a real big flop. I want to get that movie. I watched Garbage Pail Kids. And also Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck, they said it was a flop. But it was a good movie. Leah Thompson, the one who played the mother in Back to the Future. She was also in Red Dawn. Yeah, Garbage Pail Kids. It was a weird movie. Howard the Duck was about a duck who came from outer space and fell in love with Leah Thompson. They had a lot of good stop motion in that movie. You should look in my in the description of this video. You'll see Ed's movie playlist. There is there's a movie called Gingerbread Man. That's Gary Busey plays a gingerbread man. It reminds me of a Child's Play when Chucky comes to life. Is a doll that comes to life. He plays a he plays a gingerbread man that comes to life, and it's a low budget '80s movie, and it's pretty good. I think I put it at the top of the list. You go to Ed's movie list, and what's another one? Ice Pirates. That's another one. There's Army of Darkness is in there too. I just tried to collect a bunch of movies so people can watch them. It doesn't cost any money either. It's like a free matinee. That'd be cool to call up, to click on one of the movies and then just put it on your PC or on your laptop and just watch the movie with some popcorn and a soda pop. In Canada, they call them pops. They don't call them sodas. Here they say Coke. Would you like a Coke? And sweet tea. Sweet tea is something that they have a lot of. I didn't see sweet tea until I came to Georgia. Now every restaurant has sweet tea. They sell, I think it's a tradition here. Sweet tea. What else did I notice? Deep fried turkey. They take a turkey. For Thanksgiving, my niece's fiance was frying a turkey out in the yard. They have a special turkey fryer. You could put the whole turkey down into the grease. What else is so fun to talk about? So Formula One, that's more like a contest, isn't it? It's not a TV show. It's more like a race. I'm getting a lot of calls today. Getting interrupted by calls. Do you ever bet on Formula One? You know, like who's going to win? Some people do that. They'll watch a football game, or they'll watch some kind of game and they'll bet on who's going to win. Somebody will like put a pool. Everybody puts their money in, and then whoever wins gets the pool. That's what I remember. Bowling's kind of fun to watch too. They used to have bowling on television. And then golf. Golf was a big thing. Now we just watch Hulu and Pluto and all those. I watch YouTube most of the time. I'll watch YouTube videos. It's getting awfully quiet. Nobody's chatting. I know there's at least 2 people. 2 if not 3. I guess we're all fighting boredom. We're all coming together and trying to do something besides nothing. And oh, so it's on Sundays. Okay. 3 races in the USA. All right. I'll have to see if I can check that out. There's a lot that I'm just learning about. So you like the racing, all those very fast cars. Sometimes you got to watch like, do they do it on a track or do they do it down roads? Sometimes they'll have roads. Like I hear about the Autobahn. There's no speed limit on the Autobahn. You can go as fast as you want when you're going down the Autobahn. And I think they do races down there too. I remember one time I was watching a race. I was invited to the place I worked was auto parts. It was an auto parts warehouse, and we went to it was loud. It was a racetrack. And they had people racing their cars, of course. And We were sitting up on the bleachers. It was really hot that day. We sat up on the bleachers and watched the cars go by. On TV, it doesn't seem that loud. Okay, yeah. They're called like they're the souped up cars because they have funny cars. They have the stock cars. Stock cars are the regular ones like you're talking about. And then they have the modified, I guess, the ones that where they really put big, really high powered, like high octane. Sometimes they use nitrous. I've heard that. Like if you watch Mad Max, the movie Mad Max, or even Road Warrior. Road Warrior, they had, um, it was a souped up car that had nitrous. So whenever they turned on the nitrous, the car would go crazy fast. It was like a canister. I remember that. There was a canister. The guy just turned on the canister and it would give nitrous to the engine. And it would really, really fly down the road. But then you got to watch for what's ahead of you because you don't have time to slow down. That's how I remember that, you know, Road Warrior. First it was Mad Max. I think all of it was filmed in Australia. And then they had like Beyond Thunderdome. I didn't even know there was a Mad Max. All I remember seeing was Road Warrior. When they were all trying to get that tanker. It was a diesel, or what is that? Yeah, the diesel. They call them semis or 18-wheelers. They had to go out and get the 18-wheeler and get it to work. And then they hooked up a huge tanker, and they were all fighting off the barbarians. It was after a nuclear war, I think. They called it post-apocalyptic. That was one of the most popular movies. Yeah, I noticed that. Big exhaust manifolds. They have like the intakes. Sometimes the intakes are they have to cut open the hood so they can have the intake for the carburetor. And then they have the exhaust manifolds. Yeah, a lot goes into making those faster cars. There was a guy I knew who I worked with. He was in racing cars. There was. All right, thank you for coming with us, or thank you for being with us. Thank you for hanging out. I think it'll be time for me to go too. It's almost 4 o'clock. I got to start cooking, getting dinner ready. Well, I guess this will conclude today. I'll probably be back tomorrow too. I know I have one pre-scheduled. Yeah, they look nothing like the stock cars. Sometimes they have dragsters. The dragsters are the ones, and even the regular looking cars, they have parachutes to slow them down because they're going so fast. They have to pop the parachute, and then it can finally slow the car down. Because I guess brakes can't handle that much power. They could try to slow down with brakes, but they won't work. So they have to puff out a parachute, and the parachute slows the car down. It's almost like Space Shuttle. They were showing that in Heavy Metal. You ever seen the cartoon Heavy Metal? The very beginning, they had that guy, the space shuttle opens up and the car comes out. I think it was a Studebaker. And you could see the car lowering down into the Earth's atmosphere. And then a parachute pops out so they can slow down. That's a cool cartoon. If you've ever seen Heavy Metal, you do Googles for it, I think. Heavy Metal. I remember waiting for that show to come on back in '81 when I was a kid. So I guess we could wrap it up now. I've done this for 2 hours. 2 hours the show has been going. Wow. It's a telethon. So I guess now we could say our goodbyes. It's starting to get cold out here. The sun is setting. So thank you all for joining. We could do this again tomorrow, probably. We'll see who's here tomorrow. And have yourself a great a great Christmas. For those of you who celebrate, you also have a nice day. Okay, well, I'll see you all tomorrow.